around your home, those bottles, tires, even old suitcases you thought were useless, what if they could become the centerpiece of your garden? In this video, you'll see how everyday trash transforms into breathtaking garden wonders you'll wish you tried sooner. Welcome to Mind Over Decoration, where we turn simple ideas into magical inspirations. Today, we're diving into From Trash to Summer Garden Wonders, 17+ recycled and upcycled backyard art ideas you'll fall in love with. This video is filled with timestamps so you can easily explore the ideas that inspire you most. And if you have any questions or creative thoughts, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Remember, creativity is about making the most of what you already have. This channel is here to spark your imagination and help you transform your world with beauty and heart. Maybe to you, I'm just another face on a screen. But behind this content is a real family with a real dream. Every like, every comment, every subscribe keeps that dream alive. Thank you for being here, and for seeing us. In the heart of a summer garden, where the air hums with the quiet buzz of bees and the gentle rustle of leaves, something extraordinary rises among the blooms. A throne of strength, a guardian of playfulness, and a symbol of recycled wonder, the tire lion. Crafted from worn-out wheels once forgotten on dusty roads, it now roars softly with life, painted in shades of golden amber and fiery orange. Its mane is no longer bristling fur but a living crown, woven from marigolds, sunflowers, and daisies that burst outward in radiant splendor. Children wander near, their laughter echoing as butterflies dance around the lion's face. The flowers sway gently, each petal catching the warmth of the sun like sparks of joy. The air is tinged with lavender and mint, carrying a fragrance that feels almost enchanted. At night, the lion's form glimmers under the moonlight, its painted eyes watching over the garden like a benevolent protector. This lion does not roar in sound, but in spirit. It whispers of transformation, of trash reborn as treasure, of tires that once rolled through endless journeys now rooted into soil, giving bloom to something timeless. The throne it creates is not only for the flowers it holds but for the imagination it sparks. Neighbors pause, their eyes wide with surprise, asking how something so ordinary could become so alive, so majestic. It is a reminder that every castaway object holds a story waiting to be rewritten. And here, amidst vines and roses, the tire lion stands as both sculpture and sanctuary. Its mane of blossoms shifts with the breeze, playful yet regal, a quiet celebration of creativity. In the embrace of summer, surrounded by thriving color, the garden itself seems to bow to this upcycled king, not of the jungle, but of the backyard, where beauty is born not from perfection but from reinvention. In the quiet glow of a summer afternoon, the garden awakens with unexpected characters. Among roses climbing over fences and lavender brushing against the breeze, a figure stands that feels both playful and protective, the bottle kangaroo. Once discarded bottles, forgotten in corners of clutter, now leap into new life, transformed into a gentle guardian of blooms. Painted in warm tones of earthen brown, the kangaroo seems to carry more than just flowers, it carries a story. In its pouch, instead of a joey, nestle marigolds and daisies, their petals glowing like little suns. Lavender spills out in soft sprays, releasing fragrance into the air, while bees hover and dip, charmed by the colors. Children's eyes sparkle when they see it, as if the kangaroo might hop at any moment, carrying its bundle of blossoms to another corner of the yard. The bottle kangaroo speaks quietly of resilience. Its body, sculpted from plastic once considered waste, now holds life and color. Around its feet, ivy curls and mint stretches upward, the air filled with a crisp green freshness. Butterflies land gently on its painted ears, wings shimmering like jewels against the summer sky. The garden feels alive with conversation, the flowers swaying in rhythm, the kangaroo watching over them, the sunlight painting everything in shades of wonder. It is more than a planter, it is a moment of magic captured in form. Neighbors walking by stop to admire, some smiling, some whispering ideas for their own gardens. They see how trash can be reshaped, how creativity can bloom from the simplest of things. And in the hush of twilight, as the sky turns lavender and the air cools, the bottle kangaroo remains, cradling its living pouch of blossoms, standing as a playful symbol of imagination reborn. In its presence, the garden feels like a storybook come alive, where every plant, every recycled piece, is a character in a tale of reinvention and summer joy. In the heart of a summer garden, where cobblestones warm under the afternoon sun and vines climb eagerly toward the sky, something both gentle and grand takes shape. The tire elephant stands proudly among the flowers, its rounded body crafted from old rubber, its form painted in soft gray hues that echo the strength of the wild yet softened with playful charm. Its trunk curves upward, as if greeting the day, and from its back spills a cascade of blossoms, marigolds, daisies, and ivy trailing like rivers of green. Bees hum close by, drawn to the colors, while butterflies dance upon the petals as though honoring this new guardian of the garden. Around its broad feet, roses unfurl in shades of red and pink, weaving a crown of fragrance at the elephant's base. There is something deeply comforting in its presence. Perhaps it is the way the gentle eyes, carefully painted, seem to hold wisdom, or perhaps it is the way its trunk cradles a hanging basket brimming with petunias. Children wander near, touching the painted ears, laughing as if they have stumbled upon a secret friend made just for them. The tire elephant is more than a planter, it is a reminder of transformation. What once rolled endlessly on roads now stands rooted in a quiet backyard, carrying not weight but wonder. It whispers of creativity's power, of how even the most rugged material can bloom when given purpose. As evening settles, the fading sun casts amber tones across its painted form, and the garden glows in soft serenity. The elephant watches, still and strong, a playful sculpture woven into nature's rhythm. In this place, surrounded by lavender, roses, and the hum of summer life, the tire elephant is not just decoration, it is a story told in color and bloom, a tale of resilience, imagination, and joy. As the sun dips low and the air softens into the embrace of twilight, the garden takes on a new kind of magic. Among the vines and roses, tiny guardians awaken, bottle bats, their wings spread wide, each crafted from simple plastic bottles reborn into luminous creatures of the night. Painted in deep shades of black and violet, their bodies glow gently from within, like lanterns born of imagination. Hung from trellises draped in ivy or suspended from tree branches, they sway with the evening breeze. Their light is not harsh but tender, a golden warmth that glimmers against petals and leaves. Lavender beneath them releases its fragrance, mingling with the coolness of dusk, while marigolds stand like golden suns even as the real one fades beyond the horizon. Children pause in wonder, their eyes tracing the bat wings as shadows dance across cobblestone paths. Fireflies join the scene, drifting like sparks of enchantment, as if nature itself wanted to echo the artistry of these creations. The bottle bats are not frightening, but playful, protectors of the night that seem to guard the blooms with quiet joy. They speak of possibility. Once discarded bottles, dull and forgotten, are now alight with purpose, reshaped into creatures that make the garden breathe with life after sunset. Neighbors walking by catch sight of their glow and stop, captivated, as if they've stumbled upon a secret tucked within the greenery. And when darkness deepens, the bats glow brighter, their wings shimmering with reflected moonlight. They remind us that transformation is not just about survival, it is about thriving, about taking what is broken or cast aside and giving it wings. In this summer garden, under the velvet sky, the bottle bats are both decoration and story, a tale of reinvention that hums quietly with the beauty of night. In a corner of the garden, laughter seems to take form in shapes both gentle and round. From old rubber, once worn and weary, emerge the playful faces of pandas. Stacked tires, painted in bold contrasts of black and white, smile serenely beneath the summer sky, their eyes wide and inviting as if sharing secrets with the blossoms at their feet. From their open tops spill cascades of flowers, white daisies glowing like soft suns, petunias tumbling like delicate clouds, and bursts of marigolds that add a touch of gold to their monochrome charm. Around them, ivy climbs wooden trellises, weaving green ribbons into the air, while roses in shades of pink and crimson lean forward, curious about their new companions. There is something both innocent and comforting in their presence. The panda planters do not roar or command attention like lions, nor do they tower like giraffes. Instead, they smile quietly, bringing a sense of calm joy. Children sit beside them, tracing the painted circles of their eyes, giggling at the idea of a panda who grows flowers instead of chewing bamboo. As the day warms, bees flit from bloom to bloom, their hum adding music to the scene. The pandas seem almost alive, guardians of this playful patch, offering not fierceness but peace. Neighbors passing by pause at the sight, their eyes softening, as though reminded of the simple delight that comes from creation. What were once discarded tires, dark and forgotten, now cradle life. They tell a story not of waste, but of wonder, of how the ordinary can be painted, reshaped, and reborn into something that stirs the heart. And when evening comes, with lavender air and soft shadows, the pandas remain, their smiles glowing in the fading light. They stand not only as planters but as symbols of gentleness, whispering that joy can be made, even from what was once overlooked. Amidst the green abundance of a summer garden, where roses climb high and lavender hums with bees, rise figures that stretch toward the sky. They are not beasts of the savannah, yet they carry the same grace, bottle giraffes, born from plastic once discarded, now painted in golden hues with soft brown patches that dance across their slender forms. Their necks arch upward, elegant and tall, as if reaching for clouds that drift lazily above. Along their sides, small baskets bloom with daisies, petunias, and marigolds, each flower adding color to their spotted coats. Ivy curls up their legs like gentle vines, weaving green stories around their painted hides. There is wonder in their presence. Children tilt their heads back to follow the towering shapes, giggling as though the giraffes might bend down to nuzzle their hair. Butterflies flit between their mane of blossoms, and sparrows occasionally perch on their painted ears, unbothered by the silent guardians below. The bottle giraffes speak not with sound but with stature. They tell a tale of transformation, of bottles once forgotten now rising as elegant silhouettes in a cottage garden. They remind onlookers that height need not come from grandeur alone, but from creativity stacked one step at a time. In the evening light, their golden coats catch the last fire of the sun, glowing as though alive. Around their feet, lavender releases its fragrance, mingling with mint and roses to create an air of gentle enchantment. The giraffes stand quietly, their watchful eyes painted with calm expression, as if guarding the blooms below them. Neighbors stop to admire, their gazes lifting skyward with smiles of surprise. "Who would have thought," they murmur, "that bottles could dream themselves into giraffes?" And so they stand, not of flesh and bone, but of imagination and resilience. They stretch beyond what they once were, teaching the garden itself to look higher, to believe in reinvention. Beneath their towering presence, the backyard feels like a storybook scene, where even the simplest of objects can become extraordinary. In the heart of summer, where the garden bursts with colors too many to name, a new figure steps lightly into view. From the curve of old tires, painted bright and blushing pink, emerges the form of a bird both elegant and whimsical, the tire flamingo. Standing tall above the lavender and roses, its curved neck bends gracefully, as though bowing to the flowers it now calls companions. Once forgotten rubber, heavy and worn, has become a sculpture of poise. Its body is painted in hues of coral and rose, catching the sunlight as though dipped in dawn itself. From its chest blooms a basket of geraniums, their red petals shining like jewels, while ivy spills down in playful cascades. Around its feet, daisies scatter across the soil, their white faces lifting to greet the painted bird. Children laugh as they wander near, pointing at the flamingo's long legs that seem ready to stride through the flower beds. The gentle sway of its form in the summer breeze makes it almost lifelike, as if it might wander toward the pond where lilies float and dragonflies dart across the water's surface. The tire flamingo whispers of reinvention, how even the most rigid of materials can find grace when given imagination. It tells a story not only of recycling, but of rebirth, of beauty where it was least expected. Neighbors pause in their strolls, surprised to see a flamingo perched not in wetlands but in a small cottage garden, surrounded by fruit trees heavy with apples and vines curling lazily along fences. As twilight gathers, the pink glow of the flamingo softens under the fading light. It becomes a quiet silhouette against the sky, still regal, still whimsical. It holds its flowers gently, like a guardian of summer's joy, a reminder that charm and wonder can be crafted from what we once called waste. Here, among roses and lavender, the tire flamingo stands eternal, playful yet graceful, a testament to the magic of upcycling and the boundless imagination that turns trash into treasures of delight. In a garden alive with the hum of summer, playful figures seem to wander between the blooms. They are not real creatures, yet their charm is unmistakable. Bottle goats, sculpted from once forgotten plastic, now painted in warm tones of cream and brown. Their faces beam with gentle smiles, and from their backs and horns spill bursts of life. Curved horns, once rigid plastic, now serve as trellises where morning glories climb and twine in blue and purple blooms. Daisies nod cheerfully from their planters, and marigolds glow golden in the sun, as if echoing the sparkle painted into the goat's eyes. Around them, ivy curls playfully, creating an impression of goats grazing in fields of green. Children pause at the sight, delighted by the characters standing among lavender and roses. Some reach out to touch the painted horns, giggling at the idea of goats who carry flowers instead of chewing grass. The goats stand sturdy yet whimsical, adding not only beauty but personality to the garden, as though each one has its own story. The bottle goats whisper of transformation. Their plastic bodies, once destined for waste, have been given voices in the form of blossoms. They speak softly of resilience and creativity, of how imagination can carve joy out of what was once lifeless. Each goat carries its little garden like a treasure, offering its blooms to the bees and butterflies that hover above. In the golden light of late afternoon, they seem almost alive. Sunlight catches on their painted coats, and shadows stretch playfully along the cobblestone path. Fruit trees sway gently behind them, heavy with apples and pears, completing the picture of a summer cottage filled with abundance. Neighbors smile as they pass, surprised to find goats standing proudly in flower beds. They ask how such a thing is possible, how bottles could be coaxed into such delightful forms. And the answer rests in the garden itself, in the spirit of upcycling, in the willingness to see not trash, but potential. Here, amid hydrangeas and lavender, the bottle goats graze forever, not in fields of grass but in fields of flowers, eternal symbols of creativity blooming where least expected. Beneath the wide summer sky, where the air hums with bees and the earth feels alive with fragrance, a gentle giant rests in the garden. From old tires shaped and painted anew, the form of a whale emerges, smiling, playful, and alive with blooms. Its body, painted in shades of blue that recall the ocean, curves gracefully across the grass. Its wide mouth cradles a basket of petunias and daisies, a cheerful bouquet spilling like laughter. From its blowhole springs not water, but color. Trailing ivy and marigolds rise in a playful fountain, swaying with the breeze as though the whale itself were sending joy into the sky. Nearby, lavender leans forward, releasing its sweet scent, while roses unfurl in waves of red and pink. The tire whale does not sing in the deep, but its presence carries melody. Children run to its side, their hands brushing its painted fins, their eyes sparkling with delight at the thought of an ocean creature swimming through a sea of flowers. They sit by the small pond beside it, imagining the splash of tails and the songs of the sea carried into the garden's heart. There is a serenity in its gaze. Once rubber cast aside, left to wither, has become a creature of grace. It speaks softly of transformation, of the way even the heaviest of burdens can be turned into joy, how something bound for waste can instead cradle blossoms. As evening descends, golden light wraps the whale in warmth. Its painted blues glow softly, and the flowers in its blowhole seem almost aflame with color. Neighbors pause, their eyes wide with surprise, as if they have stumbled upon a secret ocean nestled in a cottage yard. The tire whale whispers of reinvention and imagination, of the way nature and creativity can merge to create wonders unexpected. In this summer garden, it swims not through waves, but through blooms, eternal, gentle, and endlessly alive with color. Along the winding paths of a summer garden, guardians stand quietly, their forms both strong and gentle. They are bottle rhinos, sculpted from recycled plastic, painted in hues of stone and ash, their horns rising proudly above a sea of blooms. Once mere waste, these bottles now carry a sense of majesty, transformed into borders that define the garden's rhythm. Each rhino holds life upon its back. From their sturdy shapes sprout marigolds, petunias, and daisies, their colors bright against the gray. Ivy spills gently from their sides, like rivers of green cascading down a mountainside. Around them, lavender sways in purple waves, and roses lean forward, curious companions to these unlikely beasts. The rhinos do not charge, nor do they roar. Instead, they bring presence, a sense of protection woven into the very edges of the garden. Children giggle as they walk past, running their fingers along the painted horns, imagining a parade of rhinos guarding fields of flowers. Neighbors pause to admire the creativity, their eyes widening at the unexpected sight of strength reborn as beauty. As the sun arcs high, shadows form beneath their broad bodies, offering a cool resting place for small insects and wandering butterflies. The rhinos seem alive in their stillness, as if ready to step forward and guide the blooms into new adventures. But as evening falls, golden light softens their edges, and the bottle rhinos glow in quiet dignity. They no longer resemble discarded plastic, but living sculptures of resilience. They stand as borders, but more than that, they stand as symbols of transformation. They remind us that even the toughest, most rugged of creatures can carry gentleness. That what was once overlooked can rise again with purpose. And in this garden, with the air rich in lavender and the sound of bees humming nearby, the bottle rhinos hold their ground, not as beasts of the wild, but as keepers of color, protectors of blooms, and storytellers of summer's endless reinvention. In a garden where roses climb and lavender hums with bees, ancient giants rise again, not in bone or stone, but in playful form, sculpted from the tires of yesterday. Towering yet gentle, the tired dinosaurs stride among the blooms, their painted bodies shimmering in shades of emerald and turquoise, their wide backs brimming with flowers. One carries a mane of sunflowers, each golden disc shining like a crown. Another's tail curves gracefully through a bed of daisies, while petunias cascade down its painted spine in streams of color. Children stand in awe, their eyes widening as they trace the long necks and cheerful faces. Laughter spills into the air as they imagine the dinosaurs roaming through a jungle of roses and mint. The dinosaurs do not roar, yet their presence is unmistakable. They guard the pathways of cobblestone, watching over fruit trees heavy with apples and vines curling lazily along wooden fences. Butterflies drift like sparks of memory across their painted hides, and bees circle the blooms that sprout from their backs. There is something timeless about them. Tires once worn and cast aside now carry the shape of creatures older than time, reborn into a tale of color and joy. They remind the garden that history and imagination can coexist, that even the relics of one age can inspire wonder in another. As the sun lowers, golden light spills across their painted scales, making them glow like living statues. The flowers sway in the evening breeze, turning the dinosaurs into moving landscapes of green and gold. Neighbors pause, astonished, as if they have stepped into a storybook where prehistory meets cottage charm. The tired dinosaurs speak not of extinction but of rebirth. They remind all who see them that even the heaviest burdens can be reshaped into joy, that trash can become treasure, and that imagination is the spark that carries life forward. In this summer garden, the dinosaurs walk again, not with thunder, but with blossoms, laughter, and light. In the heart of the summer garden, color takes flight. Not wings of silk and feather, but of plastic once discarded, reborn, reshaped into bottle butterflies. They rise from the flower beds like a living mosaic, wings painted in hues of sapphire, amber, and violet, each shimmering in the warm touch of sunlight. They perch along trellises wrapped in ivy, their delicate wings opening wide as if caught in a moment of stillness before fluttering away. Others swirl above cobblestone paths, arranged in patterns that mimic flight, leading wanderers deeper into the blooming embrace of roses, daisies, and lavender. The air is alive with fragrance and the quiet buzz of bees, and yet these bottle butterflies seem to hum with their own energy, silent, colorful guardians of the garden. Children point and laugh, enchanted by the illusion of a swarm caught mid-dance. They follow the rainbow trail of wings, imagining secret doors hidden behind the blooms. Butterflies, both real and painted, mingle together, blurring the lines between creation and nature. There is wonder in their transformation. What was once waste now flutters with meaning. The plastic bottles, once destined to fade away, have become symbols of lightness and joy. They tell a story not of flight through the sky, but of imagination soaring high in the garden's embrace. As dusk approaches, the painted wings catch the last golden light, glowing softly against the deepening green. They do not move, yet they seem alive, caught forever in a moment of beauty. Neighbors pause at the sight, marveling at how something so ordinary has become extraordinary, their eyes following the trail of butterflies as if it might carry them to another world. The bottle butterflies whisper of freedom and reinvention. They remind us that beauty does not always come from what is fleeting. Sometimes it is crafted, cherished, and made eternal. And so they remain, scattered like jewels through the summer garden, an endless swarm of color that transforms trash into a story of wonder. Nestled among the flowers, low to the earth and brimming with life, the tire hedgehogs make their home. Rounded and humble, their bodies are shaped from rubber once worn thin, now reborn in earthy shades of brown and tan. From their backs, instead of quills, rise bursts of greenery, succulents arranged like tiny spines, marigolds and daisies brightening their forms with cheerful bursts of color. They look as if they have paused mid-wander, noses lifted slightly toward the summer air scented with lavender and roses. Around them, cobblestone paths meander, lined with mint and ivy that creep along the edges, giving the hedgehogs the feeling of resting within a wild meadow. Children kneel beside them, delighted at their playful charm, imagining that these garden guardians might scurry away if touched too gently. Each hedgehog planter holds more than just flowers, it carries a sense of warmth. The succulents cling tightly, their leaves like miniature shields, while petunias spill over the sides in soft cascades of purple and pink. Bees hum busily across the blooms, and butterflies rest momentarily on the painted quills, as if nature itself acknowledges their quiet place in the garden. There is something profoundly comforting about their stillness. They are not fierce like lions nor towering like giraffes, but in their small stature they bring a sense of intimacy. Their story is one of resilience, tires once forgotten now reshaped into companions of bloom, symbols of gentleness woven into the garden's heart. As evening descends, golden light softens across their rounded forms, making the flowers upon their backs glow like embers. Neighbors smile at the sight, charmed by the simplicity and cleverness of it all. They see not just hedgehogs, but an idea that beauty need not roar loudly to be felt. Sometimes, it is the quietest shapes that leave the deepest impression. The tire hedgehogs remain, nestled forever within the blooms, silent keepers of color and comfort, reminding all who pass that joy can be found in even the smallest reinventions. In a playful corner of the summer garden, the ocean seems to have spilled its secrets onto the land. Rising from the soil, with curling limbs that twist and stretch across the flower beds, sits the bottle octopus, a creature of whimsy sculpted from plastic once forgotten. Painted in tones of sapphire and turquoise, its form shimmers like waves beneath the sun. Its tentacles, cut and reshaped from bottles, spiral outward in graceful arcs. Each one cradles bursts of blossoms, petunias, daisies, and marigolds spilling over the edges like jewels cast from the sea. Trailing ivy winds around its painted limbs, softening their edges, making the octopus appear as though it has grown roots in the earth itself. Children laugh when they see it, marveling at the unlikely creature resting among roses and lavender. They circle around it, imagining it might move at any moment, its painted eyes twinkling with mischief. Butterflies hover above its tentacles, and dragonflies skim low near the pond beside it, as if drawn to this strange new guardian of the garden. The bottle octopus carries more than charm. It carries a story of transformation, of plastic bottles once drifting without purpose, now given form, color, and life. Its tentacles, once imagined as litter, now hold flowers aloft, weaving the ocean into the heart of a cottage garden. It is proof that beauty can be born of reinvention, that even what we discard can become extraordinary. As evening arrives, the octopus glows in the fading light. The deep blues of its body reflect the last embers of the sun, while the flowers upon its arms shimmer like stars. Neighbors passing by pause in surprise, their smiles widening at the sight of an ocean creature living peacefully among fruit trees and hydrangeas. It stands not as something out of place, but as a bridge between worlds, ocean and garden, trash and treasure, imagination and reality. In its stillness, the bottle octopus reminds all who see it that playfulness and wonder belong not just in the sea, but wherever creativity dares to flow. Winding low along the edges of the garden, a new kind of guardian stretches across the soil. Crafted from old tires and painted in shades of emerald and moss, the tire crocodile rests with playful patience, its long body marking the borders of summer blooms. Its painted eyes gleam mischievously, and its wide smile reveals not teeth but petals, petunias and daisies spilling joyfully from its open jaws. The crocodile slithers, not with menace, but with charm. Its back carries small planters of geraniums and trailing ivy, softening the lines of its painted scales. From a distance, it looks as though a great reptile has wandered from the wild into a cottage garden, choosing to nest not in swamps but among roses and lavender. Children run alongside it, laughing as they imagine the crocodile snapping playfully at butterflies that float above the marigolds. There is a balance in its presence, strength and play combined. The long form of the crocodile defines the garden's borders, guiding footsteps along cobblestone paths, while its blossoms bring bursts of color that soften its fierce silhouette. Neighbors pause to admire, their surprise quickly giving way to delight. They see not danger, but creativity, and they marvel at how waste has been shaped into wonder. As the afternoon sun warms the air, the crocodile's green coat gleams like scales in light. Lavender sways gently around its tail, releasing fragrance, while bees circle tirelessly between blooms. The creature seems almost alive in stillness, as though waiting to crawl deeper into the beds of cosmos and hydrangeas. When evening falls, shadows stretch long across the borders, and the crocodile becomes part of the rhythm of twilight. It no longer looks like rubber, nor like trash. Instead, it looks timeless, a playful sculpture that carries both strength and life in equal measure. The tire crocodile speaks of transformation, of turning what is feared into what is loved, of reshaping waste into stories. It does not guard with fangs, but with flowers, standing quietly at the edges of the summer garden, a reminder that even the fiercest forms can carry beauty. Against the garden's edge, where fences usually stand quiet and plain, an explosion of color takes flight. From plastic bottles, shaped and painted anew, rises the fan of a peacock's tail, a bottle peacock fence, shimmering in sunlight like a living jewel. Each bottle gleams with hues of sapphire, emerald, and gold, catching the day's brilliance and scattering it across the flowers below. The feathers spread in wide arcs, bottles arranged carefully to mimic the bird's proud display. Between the painted patterns bloom tiny daisies and petunias, their petals nestled like hidden treasures among jeweled glass. Ivy drapes gently from the edges, softening the structure, making it feel as though the peacock has rooted itself within the garden walls. Neighbors pause in awe, their eyes lifting to trace the shimmering tail that seems alive in the breeze. Children laugh, imagining the peacock strutting proudly across the cobblestone path, showing off its splendor to roses and lavender. Butterflies gather, attracted to the glowing colors, as if mistaking them for blossoms of their own. The fence tells a story not of boundaries, but of celebration. What was once discarded plastic has become an emblem of pride, transformed into feathers that dazzle the garden in every season. It is a reminder that beauty can rise even from the edges, that borders need not limit but can expand the imagination. As evening approaches, the setting sun strikes the bottles with amber fire, and the peacock's tail seems to glow from within. The garden quiets, shadows stretch, and still the peacock shines, holding onto the last light of the day. It becomes not just decoration, but a guardian of elegance, watching over the blooms with quiet majesty. In its stillness, the bottle peacock whispers of reinvention. It shows that trash can transform into treasure, that fences can become stages, and that gardens can hold not only flowers but stories. Here, amidst roses, lavender, and apple trees, the peacock spreads its tail forever, a living sculpture of creativity, pride, and summer wonder. In the heart of the garden, where summer's warmth lingers on every petal, a creature of wonder emerges, not from fairy tales, but from the transformation of old tires. Painted in pastel hues of lavender, rose, and sky blue, the tire unicorn stands tall, its golden horn catching the sunlight, glowing as if it truly carries a touch of magic. From its back spills a cascade of blooms, petunias in purples, daisies in white and gold, and marigolds shining like sparks of joy. Its mane is not hair but flowers, hydrangeas flowing like waves across its painted form. Around its hooves, lavender and roses bloom freely, their fragrance rising like whispers of enchantment. Children pause in wonder, their eyes wide with delight. They run circles around the unicorn, imagining its horn granting wishes, imagining its painted body galloping across meadows of roses and apple orchards. Butterflies seem to believe too, drifting in colorful swirls that echo the rainbow shades painted along its sides. The tire unicorn does not move, yet it feels alive. Its form speaks of imagination, of how waste can be reborn into something extraordinary. Neighbors stop in their tracks, marveling at how rubber once bound to roads has become a dream resting in the garden. They smile, inspired by the way creativity can breathe new life into the most unexpected materials. As twilight settles, the unicorn glows softly, pastel colors deepening under the golden light. Its horn, touched by the last rays of the sun, gleams like fire against the sky. The flowers upon its back sway gently in the evening breeze, alive with bees and butterflies making their last rounds of the day. The tire unicorn is more than a planter, it is a story made real. It whispers of possibility, of dreams reshaped, of how beauty is not only found but created. Here, amidst cobblestone paths, fruiting apple trees, and the gentle hum of summer, the unicorn stands eternal, a symbol of magic born from reinvention. And that's the journey, from trash to timeless treasures for your summer garden. I hope these ideas sparked your imagination and gave you the inspiration to create something magical right where you are. If you enjoyed this video, Don't forget to hit subscribe, give it a like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Which idea would you love to try first? Or do you have your own upcycling creations to share? Your support means more than you know. Together, we're proving that beauty can be built from anything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.